Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody can hear me out there. Something going on, man, but we'll get through it this time. Excuse me. Bless you, bless you, bless you, Tori. Bless you, bless you. Yeah, man. So, yeah, another storm. Last week it was storming around the time we were doing the live. So, man, woo. I see you stick your head down like, hey, you like your head like this. uh, and we did it last week, didn't we, man? Storm, man. Like, at least. It good. The Heavenly Father, man, and the thing about it is beautiful when I look outside, even though it's raining. It just, man, it's like every afternoon has been a storm, huh? Yeah. Hold on a second, baby. Can you
Yeah, I
hear
can
me,
hear
baby?
you now. I don't know what it picked
Hello?
up on.
Okay.
Oh, I think it picked up
Nah,
my
it probably was the
headset.
storm.
It picked up my headset. I forgot for when I worked
Oh,
out
it
this
probably was
morning.
storm.
Man, you just hear that?
It probably. Oh, yeah, I hered that. Man, woo. It's a blessing, man. But God, no. But I'm looking out here. Wow. You know, it was like this last week. Remember?
Yeah. You see that?
It was like this last week,
That's
man.
crazy.
Man, oh
It's
my
right at
God.
6 too. It's hating on us.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, man. But you know what though? We ain't gonna let it stop our show because we know God has got us. You know what I'm saying? We know God got us. We're gonna get that word out, do the thing we're gonna talk about. But, thank everybody, hopefully being on the live. Want to tell everybody, hey, Carrie, how you doing? Let me see. Uh, um, yeah, everybody joined the live. Like I said last week, we had the
I kicked
same
off.
issue. It's
I
raining.
got kicked off just that
Say what,
quick.
babe? Yeah, that's why I put it back on. So we had the storm, and but by the grace of God, we're still here, just trying to do the live. Kind of want to just get through it, but it's regardless, still beautiful. We're above ground, another day. But anyway, babe, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. I thought about something that me and you.
It's getting difficult to hear you down here.
Oh yeah, that's a different storm right there, man. Oh, whoa, that's a. Can you hear me? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a. I look at that. I was
I
looking
need
out
to
the
move
window
in
like,
front of this window
okay,
first of all.
you gonna move? Where you gonna move to? You gonna move to
Front
the
of a
to the
window here.
desk over there?
I'm not sitting in front of.
Everybody, see, we try to bring it to you, man. We ain't trying to find our Lord, and Savior. Believe that. It just that at the end of the day, last week we didn't do it because of the storm. We were just trying to get something out, and but just like everything else, it's we just want to make sure that we talk about a few things that we want to talk about. First of all, I want to just say to everybody, thank you. The music in the background, if you can hear it, does not belong to me. Nothing about that music belong to me. I'm a big jazz person. Love jazz. My wife, we both love jazz. Um, but at the end of the day, we just use it as therapeutic music. But anyway, so babe, you good? Oh, did I
Yeah,
lose you?
I'm good. Hold on.
Okay. Nyla. So you gonna
Yeah,
mute it?
Nala can't hear you though.
Oh, okay. Um, so yeah, so babe, anyway, like I said, and the funny thing about our live 9 out of 10, not saying it is and not saying it's not, that it'll probably be over with by the time we get through the live. It taking 30 minutes to be on the live. And but I felt like this week, man, we had to get something out there because last week, coming back from Hawaii and everything. You okay? What's wrong? Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on, let me see.
Nyla is not going to let me sit here, so I have have to move somewhere else.
Okay, you want to go? You gonna move to the
I'll find another place.
Okay, you're gonna go in there.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm good. Keep going.
You
Yeah.
get me? Okay. But everybody, like I said, I'm sorry. You know what you could do to make it a little brighter in there? Turn the lights on to
Yeah.
the cabinet. It's on the back side of it. Yeah, turn the lights on, or you can turn the lights on in the hallway. So it sounds like you in there. So there you go. There you go, beautiful. So, that's the thing about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about it. But anyway, um, you know, the situation is that everybody last week we were gonna do this, we're doing the same thing, but because we want to talk to you about our trip, but the trip was just it was beautiful. You're right,
Yeah,
babe. It was
the
beautiful.
trip was amazing. Yeah, it was good. The mountains
The thing
look.
about it
I
is
couldn't take my eyes off the mountains. That was my favorite part. Just looking at all the mountains.
mountains and the ocean was just blue.
Yeah.
It was blue, and food was good. But I'll tell anybody that plane ride, man,
Very.
you better get in
Yeah.
first class. Better get in first class. First class. I'm not trying to I'm not an advocate or promoting it like that. But if you want to make sure them legs are good,
Get you some comfort.
because get some comfort, man. Because if not, you got to wear the socks, the
Yeah.
compression socks.
Yeah.
So, but we got through it, and we was gonna talk to everybody, but like I said, it was storming like like today. Um, it seemed like, am I wrong, babe, that around 6 o'clock, it's a lot of the storms in the afternoon. I mean, when they say afternoon showers, it's meant
Evening.
really afternoon
Evening
showers
shower.
for
Hmm.
evening showers,
They've been coming about around the
a
same
lot
time every day.
every
Yeah.
day. You know what I'm saying? Like it almost like if we lived on the ocean or something. You think storms like that be more like off the coast or like the ocean or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's, but you wouldn't think it'd be so much as far as inland. Um, but and the thing about Hawaii, you remember the
Yeah,
clouds
it
are real
rained.
low.
Yeah.
Remember that? It
Yeah,
rained
but they
almost
have
what every day,
sporadic
didn't it?
showers. You don't know what time it's going to shower. You don't know when it's going to rain. It'll just rain and stop. Scattered
Mm-hmm.
showers.
Cash out. But the one thing I would tell everybody,
And
please
it's
take a
cloudy.
vacation. I mean, please take a vacation. Me and my wife, we needed it. We needed it as much as we put into the business and everything. The only difference is that we didn't, when you the CEO and the CFO or CEO and the COO of a business, you gotta be mindful when you're traveling because everything about your company, something happened goes with that. So but at the same time, we were blessed to get back and be safely. Hearts go out to the airline in Indiana. I mean India. Heart go out to them, for the loss. But anyway, today we're gonna talk about the box truck, right, babe? Box truck versus the cargo. Okay, so
Box truck
now me
versus
and
cargo?
the
Cargo
cargo
van.
man,
Yeah.
cargo. So when you think about the cargo man, it's like when you think about the sprinters, the pro masters. Uh, I'm trying to think. I don't know what Ford truck is, like the Frontier or something like that. But anyway, um, each company has their own cargo van, and so you have to say cargo van. But the average person understands Sprinter, but everybody has to understand that Sprinter is a Mercedes. That's the name of the Mercedes truck. The Dodge Master, I'm sorry, the Pro Master is
Done.
the is the Dodge truck. You know what I'm saying? So each company has their
So
own.
so Mercedes makes the Sprinter
Uh,
van. Oh, okay.
hmm But the main thing that somebody always says is the Sprinter. You know what I'm saying? It's like the number one used probably term. If you had to go Google terms of what is used toward cargo vans, especially because of like certain companies that come deliver to every day to everyday households, they was using
Mhm.
that particular van, and that kind of elevated it, up there. But anyway, so with all that said, so we have a Dodge ProMaster, and so if somebody say, okay, Tori, what would you do when it comes to the Dodge ProMaster versus a box truck? Well, I always tell them, and it's actually me a lot of times. I always say, well, I have both, but the one thing that if I had to do, it depends on how you're trying to run your particular vehicles. If you try to run a box truck, the box truck is pretty much it's so much cousin, especially with a 26-foot box truck. Let me just say that first, because you have a 26-foot box truck, and you have a 16-foot box truck. And and most of those 16-foot box trucks are right in the range of where you have a lot of people always equate that to like a U-Haul vehicle or the little Isuzu vehicles like that. They're smaller, but those are more of your urban um, particular box trucks. They're like 16 footers, and they hold probably I want to say at least 6 pallets, right? So they're gonna hold a little bit more than the cargo van. The cargo van, depending on what size you get, like if you get they got a 1500, they got a 1500, 2500, and a 3500. If you get a 3500, you get a 1500. I think it holds like two
Mhm.
pallets. If you get a 2500, it holds like between 3 and 4, depending on the standard. Okay, you get 3500, I think it gets a little bit more pallet space in there, depending on the standard size of the pallets. But I'm sorry, if you get a box truck that's a 16 footer, it holds one, two, three, four. It holds six, like right next to each other. And if you get, and so it's a lot of little variables in there when you get rid of bodies. And somebody, one good friend of mine asked me, said, "Well, man, I'm thinking about buying this kind of Sprinter. I mean, I'm sorry, this kind of box truck." I told him, I say, the box truck industry, in my opinion, is pretty much
Mhm.
saturated because everybody wants to drive one,
Right.
and that was a lot of that was because of
Yeah.
COVID. So I remember at one time they were selling a box truck for like $125,000.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, I think I lost signal
I'm
with
right
the thing.
here.
Hold on a second, so I can figure it. No, I see on your face. I see it's spinning. There you go. Yeah, yeah. It kind of froze you. Uh, yeah. So, but anyway, so the box truck versus so the one thing about the box truck is that yeah, it does have a little bit more price to it than the cargo van, and from as far as like things like as far as you know um, maintenance and things like that. Um, excuse me. And then also for as fuel efficiency. You know, but the 16th, but I think where everybody leave out the gap is that it's hard to compare, to me, in my opinion, a 26-foot box truck that holds 12 pallets, right, to a cargo van that holds um, somewhere between 1 and 2 pallets, or 1 through 6 pallets, depending on the length of that Sprinter, or I mean that particular cargo van. And so anyway, um, so that's what everybody try to compare it to. You can't, other than you leaving out a box truck. You're leaving out that middle box truck that's like a 16-foot box truck. That 16-foot box truck, a lot of those box trucks are used in the urban area, like more rural, I mean more urban type places like downtown Atlanta or downtown Detroit. Those are 16-foot box trucks. Now, if you get into the 16-foot box truck, now you can start getting into where they do compare. But the average person only think about them as what, a U-Haul.
That's the average. box truck is a U-Haul?
Uh-uh. The 16 footer, no, the average box truck is like 26 footer. I'm saying that the 16
Mm-hmm.
footer box truck is like those little
Okay.
small U-Haul
Okay.
trucks.
Okay. I follow.
That and those trucks are about 16 footers, and that's why a lot of times you see U-Hauls in where most of your urban areas. They they kind of they're more tied in to like versus a day to day a day to day delivery, small tight places versus a box truck. And that's why I said when people bought these particular vehicles, because nobody told them. Oh, she says frozen on my end. It may be my connection. Okay, it's Carrie. Okay, we talk about Carrie. So anyway, um, so what I was saying is that um, that's why it's important to reach out to someone like us, at Crawford Trim of CLA, Crawford Logistics and Associates, so we can try to help you. Because I get that call all the time, man. What should I buy? Should I buy a Sprinter or should I buy a box truck? But when they talking about a box truck, they're not talking about. They're talking about a 26 footer
Okay.
box truck. They're not thinking about the one in between
Right.
because the first thing they want to say, do I do a box truck versus a cargo van and mostly the word they're using, they would say
And what
sprinter.
is the
That's the first thing they
and
would
what is
say.
the what are the important things you need to look for when you're buying a box truck?
Well, first of all, what you're going to use it for. If you're going to do it like inner city, like urban areas and things like that, like if you want to use it like a sprinter, then you need about a 16 footer. If you don't have anything over 6 pallets plus, I would easily recommend a 16 foot box truck. And see, that's where everybody get it
So you
twisted
don't need a
because,
lift gate or anything?
well, the thing about 16-foot box truck, they can be dock high. You can dock high, and then they also got a ramp. You get you a 16-foot truck dock high with a ramp. Now, if you do need it, now if you do need one, they do come with the lift gates. You see what I'm saying? You got 16-footers with lift gates. The difference is they're just smaller, and they get in those little compact areas like the inner city. Like, let's say, you know how tight. Remember, back in the day, area you used to live in,
Hmm?
right? Those little areas like that, they real tight. You know what I'm saying? So you'll use a 16-footer to get it done, and usually be like, household goods and things like that, or they might use something like a freight with, pallets and things like that. But I think the biggest thing is knowing what you're using that truck for. And the biggest thing is that when you sign, you think about it, you either pay cash for it or you probably sign a 3-year deal. Most commercial trucks are like 3-year deals as far as what they're gonna give you a loan on. So now you're stuck in that loan, so you don't want to get the wrong equipment, especially if you're trying to, don't try to be moving somebody's homes, and and you know what I'm saying, with a 16 footer, I'm not saying you
Right.
can't do it, but you probably need a
Mm-hmm.
26 footer, and then
That's
one
like
thing
you're
about the 26
trying to
footer
move a house.
is for,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
That's that big one.
it's just the right equipment for the situation, and that's where everybody go wrong at. And your box truck, you want to be able to do like when I was doing the box truck, we delivered to the post office and things like that. But I had a lift gate, when I had to deliver, you know, about 8 pallets. I'm sorry, 16 pallets to a customer. And the box truck like that, what it helps you at is like when you're dealing with a customer that have, multiple pallets, you know, 12 or plus, because the box truck holds 12, but if they're not standard pallets, then you get into um, a little bit more need, a
Yeah.
second delivery.
Gotcha.
hmm So yeah, so the box truck versus the sprinter. I mean, a box truck versus a cargo man. Just getting the right equipment. Everybody just trying to get everybody to understand these are things you want to know.
You don't want
again,
to get
because what
somewhere
happened is,
where you have the wrong box truck and it's hard for you to take the freight off the truck, right? So what situations have you known about where that can happen?
well, I knew automatically to get a
Well, other
sprint. I mean, I
people
knew
don't
automatically to
know.
get
Other
a.
people may not know. So give us
Yeah, well, that's why
no.
I'm on here trying to tell
I
them
was
to
just
make sure
asking
they
for you to
get.
give a scenario. That's all.
Um, well, it's hard to give a scenario when I had the equipment. I know. I'm just telling everybody that if you gonna go into this business, make sure you go into the business and reach out to someone like myself to tell you, well, not tell you, but advise you on clearly understanding what you're trying to do. You got some people that want a box truck to do home deliveries and like appliances and washing machines, things like that. Yeah, you need that. Then you got some people that just want to use a box truck to do, like pressure washer. That's the one thing that. Oh yeah, you kind of signal breaking up.
It's the weather.
The thing about pressure washing. Oh yeah, I know. I was hoping it passed over. It's just doing thundering. It's not even raining anymore. So um, I've seen people try to put certain things in those, and they want to get in tight places, and the box truck is definitely not going to get you in there. A sprinter doesn't really have the width. It has the length, but
Mhm.
not the width. The box truck is the 16-foot box truck is going to have the width
Mhm.
and the length. But because a lot of the box trucks, a 16-foot box truck, they have a ramp to go up and down because they have like a more dock high base. So to your point, you asked me why I chose a Sprinter because I already felt like I got a box truck um, that's dock high. So I don't need two vehicles to be dock high, and that's the only reason why. But if I had to advise somebody that doesn't have a box truck like myself and a ProMaster, which is equivalent to the Sprinter, which is a cargo van, I would advise you to get something if you feel like you want to be in the perspective of doing like delivering to urban areas, or if you're gonna be doing things like um, um, you know pressure washing people homes and things like that, and you're gonna want to you can get everything in that particular vehicle, and the only difference between that and a Sprinter is like I said, or a ProMaster, you're gonna have to go 2,500. And when you go 2,500, it's a little 25 to 3,500. They're bigger trucks. They're just long. They're just longer trucks. It don't mean they're wider trucks.
And getting in and out of the back of it is a different experience too.
Yeah, because like I said, the box truck was be 26 or 16. They if they're dock high, that means you're climbing up. Got a Sprinter, you might step up one step
A Sprinter is
to the
not
next.
dock high.
With a Sprinter,
They're not dock
ProMaster,
high.
none of them are dock high.
Right.
They had to go ramps. That's why it's important that everybody understand the reason why I'm saying what I say, because I really it's like I was telling you know talking to friends and family. The difference is that when you know better, you do better. So if you have someone that can mentor you in it, cool beans, to keep you from making mistakes. If you don't have somebody that can mentor you in it, reach out to CLA, Crawford Logistics and Associates. We'll make sure you're good. Um, because that's the goal. Because I want to make sure that it's like buying a house. I don't want you to be in a 30-year mortgage and you just frustrated because your neighbors don't want to keep
Yeah.
their yard up. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Oh,
CLA
but
is the way to go.
basically, yeah, and so somebody asked me, said, okay, Tori, what's your opinion tonight the best piece of equipment to go. Depending on what you want to do with a
Mm-hmm.
box truck. If you're trying to do it as far as like pallet deliveries and things
Right.
like that, um, you know, six six pallets, or let's say four
Mm-hmm.
plus, I have to give it to the box truck, excuse me, or the 16-foot box truck. The box truck in general, 26 footer, it holds at least
Mm-hmm.
12 standard pallets. You know what I'm saying? Um, but like I said, if it's having 12 holding 12 pallets in that 16-footer, and they're beside each other, but you want to make sure it's
Right.
dock high. The sprinter, hey, you always got to have somebody come out down the ramp, or you back into the building. And the one thing about a sprinter or a ProMaster, I'm always gonna go up with the high top, number one. Number two, I'm gonna try to get the length 2,500 plus, because now I know I can be more diverse to have multiple pallets in there. Now, all right. So then the
Mm-hmm.
16-foot box truck, I'm gonna go 60 out of the two, and depending on, like I said, depending on what you're trying to do, you have to
Right.
know that purpose. You know what you're trying to do with it, then that'll tell you what you want. The 16-foot between the six. If you say, okay, what would you do between a 16-footer and the cargo or sprinter or ProMaster? Me personally, I'll probably go with the 16-footer.
Gotcha.
So that's my tip of the day. That's it. Hey, trainer, because that's my tip of the day. So just try to tell everybody, reach out to Crawford Logistics and Associates, myself, my wife, reach out to us. And we'll love to see you. We want to see you successful. That's the one thing we want, babe. Make sure they're successful. But we want to make sure you get to, arrive at a success, because you should get there. But some of it can be stumbling blocks that you
You
just
could
like, oh
avoid.
man, I
Yeah.
should. Uh-huh.
Yep. We just
And that's what
yeah.
we out here for. You know what I'm saying?
At Cro-
At Crawford Logistics Associates, we really out here
Mhm.
for that.
No,
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say you could just you could find us at Crawford Logistics and Associates.com.
.com, and you can Crawford Logistics and Associates on YouTube. And please, man, our YouTube channel. And, my wife had to remind me about the YouTube channel. That's why she laughed. So please go and subscribe. Let me tell you something, man. It helps. We trying to really build that page up. But we use our live. We love our live. Um, it's a good, was our way of reaching everyone. But like I said, we want to make sure that everybody understand. Me and my wife, we've been this. I've been in the game for 21 years. You know what I'm saying? She's been in transportation. Well, company she was working for was transportation. So it's been, just as long. The difference is that I've been in business for
Mm-hmm.
21 years, but I've been
Longer.
driving that truck. I've been driving it 28, 20, going to
Yeah.
29 years. But I just want to be able to support, because man, it's like I tell my kids, you get into this is transportation, trucking is an occupation. It is a career technically. You know what I'm saying? It's a trade. You know, because you're a part of a lot of drivers has been in that next echelon
Yeah.
because of trucking. And so,
Hmm.
so I need everybody to understand that. So we're not just getting on here on a rainy day, cloudy day, you know, um,
Stormy day.
stormy day.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, my wife moving out from windows and everything, trying to get this thing out there. But the point is that we're trying to make sure everybody understand that hey, we do it for the love, we do it for the passion, and that's where it's about. When you do it for love and passion, then God knows you'll be blessed, because you're trying to help
That's
someone
correct.
else, even though you're stressed. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, babe, what you got going on? Love, what you got going on? Let me hold up your
Say
product.
what?
Let me hold up your product.
Hold it up.
What you got going on? All right, there it is. I ain't saying nothing but a word, buddy.
That's our
You know what I'm
that's
saying? I ain't
our
saying nothing but a word.
turmeric scrub. We have men's beard kit,
Hmm.
beard oil, beard balm,
The beard balm.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody, look, man. Father's Day just passed, man. Y'all should have had some of this. I had some for my Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hey, look, and then you gotta take care of yourself, man.
That's
You gotta have that, man.
that sea salt scrub for your
Yeah,
beard
you gotta take
and your
care of yourself,
skin.
man. Around the beard, man, and skin,
Hmm.
man. Don't no woman want no man that ain't take care of herself. You know what I'm saying? I've been with my wife over 25 years, and she'll tell you like, boy, I take care of my feet, teeth, skin,
Yep.
everything. Trying to tell you, man, you gotta take care of yourself, man. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta
Yeah.
take care of yourself. That's one thing, a woman don't want. She want a man to take care. You want to, at least try to take care of your beard, man, or your
Grooming
hair,
in general is important.
grooming. Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly, everybody. So, but anyway, everybody, please, when you get a chance, go to, to Crawford Logistics and Associates YouTube channel and just subscribe. It will help a lot. Also, too, go to Crawford Logistics and Associates.com. But it's some big things coming out about to start from over here with us, man. But a lot of the support y'all have given us, it's been number love. But anyway, just want to say, in my opinion, tonight, if somebody say, Tori, you can do it all over again, box truck, 26 footer versus a cargo van, Sprinter, Pro Masters, and all them out there,
What
who
would
you
you
gonna
choose?
choose? I'm gonna choose the 16 footer, you know, box truck in the middle, because the reason why it can hold just as many pallets, the difference with it comes pretty standard, and to get it
Hmm.
dock high with a lift gate, dock high with a lift gate, man, you can do so many things. You can move TVs, you can move washing machines, dryers, you can move any little things here and there. People want move quick water heaters, you name
Apartment.
it. And nah, you don't. Nah, you're not moving an apartment unless you probably. You know what? I take that back. You probably can move a one
I mean, I'm
bedroom,
just saying. Some people move
a
furniture.
studio.
Okay, I'll say
Nah, you probably
furniture.
no, no,
I'll
no.
just say furniture.
Studio. You can
I'll
move
say
studio.
furniture.
Yeah, yeah. You can move. You can move studio. Like someone with not a lot of
Just
over a lot of pieces.
furniture.
But the thing about it, I will say this, that the box truck in general, if you are moving and using it as a moving company, I will go 26 footer. If I'm doing furniture, if I'm moving somebody out of apartment complex, I'm going 26 footer. The reason why I'm going 26 footer because sofas and things like that. When I was talking about why would I choose a 16 footer out of the cargo van versus the box truck, because the average person don't think about the smaller box truck when you're just doing your average deliveries and things like that. That's why I said I would go with the box truck,
16.
the 16-foot box truck.
Gotcha. I
So
stand corrected.
everybody, I heard it from me. Hoping everybody just like, hey, I hear what Tori's saying. Love get you on the live. One day, want to talk to me or see me in the future and some other endeavors we're working on. My wife told you, please do the turmeric scrub. It was the dead sea salt scrub, the balm, the beer balm. Oh, the for your beard, and
Yeah.
also the beard oil. And she got so many other things like the soaps and things like that. You got to go to
Dot
Crawford
com.
Naturals .com and just share the love and buy. Father's Day just passed, but hey, you still got time to buy something else after post
Hmm.
Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I just want to tell everybody, man, that's what we do on this live. Want to say another day above ground is a good day, and the storm. I'm gonna get out here a little early, man. Want to tell everybody peace, man. Talk to you in a minute. All right, man. Peace.